What's up, guys? This is OmegaLiar, and I'm back bringing you a tips and tricks commentary here with the PDW-57. And before I get into too much about the commentary stuff, can I ask you please for a like or a comment? Because I really appreciate when you guys support this series. This is one of my favorite series to do because this is the one where I feel I'm most qualified to actually do it. I know quite a bit about this game, I know quite a bit about how it works, and I know a lot about how the guns work and what's the best ways to use them. So hopefully you'll take these tips into mind, and let's just jump right into it. So I have to also mention that the first part of this commentary is going to be talking about the PDW and tactics that work well for it. And the second part is going to be talking about the tactic that I'm using in this video. Because the tactic that I'm using in this video is a little bit unconventional. But I'll get into that later. I might leave a link or something in the description telling you what time to go to or whatever. But let's talk the PDW. Because there's a lot of very, very interesting things about it. It's got the highest ammo capacity out of all the submachine guns, and it's tied for the slowest fire rate out of all the submachine guns, but it's also the most powerful, tied with the MSMC out of all the submachine guns. It's unfortunately, though, got a very short 3-shot kill range, and that leads to some interesting handling characteristics. But the fact is, this gun proves to be very, very powerful in just about any situation with any attachment you can throw on it. So let me talk about a bit about what I think the best attachments are and how you should use them and what you should use with what, because there's a lot of different ways you can use this gun. Now to start, it has heavy, very, very heavy recoil that goes up and to the right, which sort of stays in line with a lot of the guns in Black Ops. Not Black Ops 2, but Black Ops. So it sort of has its roots from Black Ops. But then again, if you're dealing with a lot of guns that have very light recoil, you might ask yourself, why would I use the one that has the most recoil pretty much in its class, tied with a Scorpion? And that is basically alleviated by the fact that one of the attachments that you can use with this gun is a foregrip. And the foregrip basically drops it down to a recoil that hardly matters. And the other reason is the fact that you have 50 bullets in your clip, so you don't necessarily have to be that accurate. Accuracy is something that goes for the guns that fire quickly and don't have a lot of ammo. Specifically something like the Vector. The Vector only has 36 bullets and it fires very quickly for a 4-shot kill. But in this you have more, and it takes less bullets to kill, which means that for one, you're probably going to get more kills per clip at average. And on top of that, you won't really be reloading too much. So if you're considering something like Fast Mag, I would definitely use your attachment for something better, because if you have 50 bullets and you're not reloading that often, you can sort of choose when you want to reload and when you don't. And when you have that kind of power, you just have a lot more versatility if you're running a different attachment. There's a ton of attachments for this gun that give you a little bit better of an advantage. Now the first one that you can see I'm using here is the silencer. And by using the silencer, I allow myself to basically, even though I'm cutting my already short range to even shorter, I'm allowing myself to be a short range rushing powerhouse. Because if you're close against the enemy the entire time, how are they ever going to get you to the point where it's actually going to take 4 bullets to kill? And you can see I was basically camping around that middle area the entire first part of this game, picking up nice easy kills and not really trying too hard. It was just a matter of aim and shoot, because you can spray people down, you can aim at people, and this gun will get the kill at short range almost every single time. Other good attachments aside from the foregrip and the silencer, rapid fire. If you use rapid fire in a silencer or rapid fire in extended mags, you can become even more powerful than you already are. I would say the closest comparison I can think of is probably the AK-74U or really, because of recoil, the MP5K with rapid fire from Black Ops. It's got, yeah, a lot of recoil, but the fact is you're going to be using it at close range. When you have that many bullets, you can spray people down and take the very, very close range gunfights, and you can also pop fire it the way you normally would and take medium to long range stuff. So the PDW stands as a very, very versatile weapon that has a lot of great traits that make it ideal for rushing. So in that sense, you also want to pick what perks would go well with it. Naturally, the first one I recommend in almost all my classes really is actually dexterity. because recovering faster from sprint, especially in any rushing type class, is one of the most useful benefits you can have. Now the other few perks that I would recommend is hardline as a general usefulness, and you could also run something like Ghost, because if you're going to be rushing around with a submachine gun, and if you're going to be using a silencer, why not have the little benefit of the fact that you're constantly moving around and never showing up on radar? It allows you to rush a little bit harder than you would, and it allows you to not have to worry about UAVs, so you can run your own routes and do what you think is best based on where your enemies are. And you don't really have to worry too much about, oh, are they going to see me? Are they going to flank me? You can just do your own thing, and it'll definitely, for one, raise your kill to death ratio, but it'll also help you in general with just using the gun and rushing. So Ghost and Hardline together, or Ghost and Dexterity and Hardline together, make 3 very good perks. For the middle tier, there's nothing too important that you should run. In this case, I'm running Scavenger to resupply my equipment, but because you have so many bullets, that's not necessary for the PDW. Now, on top of perks and attachments, you also have to think tactics. And I sort of skimmed on it before, but the best tactics is get up to the front lines and face your enemy as close as possible. Because the closer you are to your enemy, the more likely you are to get the 3-shot kill, and the easier it's going to be to kill them. So, as a general guideline, stay close to your enemy, and that's basically all you really have to worry about with this gun. And so if you consider the fire rate, the power, the recoil, and the handling characteristics, you know that if you're going to be using this gun, you're going to have a close range powerhouse that'll very reliably get you the kill. And that's basically all I have to say about the PDW. Now I got a few minutes left, let's talk these tactics. Because as you can see, I'm not running any type of grenade really. I'm not running any concussions or flashes, and I'm not getting rid of them for other things, so you might be wondering, what am I doing? And there's a few things I'm doing. I'm running double equipment of both types. I have 2 bouncing betties, and I have 2 black hats. The black hats is essentially one of the most useful pieces of equipment they've ever put in a Call of Duty. It can be used for just about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. It can take down UAVs. It can break enemy equipment. It can hack enemy equipment and make it get kills for you. And on top of that, it gives you points towards your point streak. By the end of this game, with the amount of black hats that I use and resupply just from the fact of picking up scavenger packs and using them all the time, I get what is the equivalent of 7.5 kills. And that is excuse me. And that is just off the equipment alone. That doesn't consider the assists that I get from the equipment. That doesn't consider the kills that I get from the equipment that I'm hacking, or the points that I'm getting from breaking enemy equipment. So just from the kills, just from using the equipment alone, you will get a lot of points. Now the bouncing betties can be replaced with regular grenades or claymores or something like that, but the fact is you just want an explosive that you can constantly spam around the map, and considering the way that traffic flows in this game, which is really kind of random in general, spamming grenades will get you kills more often than you think. And in this case, when I'm in this middle area, I just chuck betties over to where their spawn is, and because they pile through that middle area so often, it gets me quite a few kills. Enough kills to actually pick up quite a few stealth choppers this game. And together, if you mix that with Scavenger and Engineer, you can constantly be hacking equipment, constantly be figuring out where more or less the enemy is going to be, and constantly getting extra points that you wouldn't normally get. Hardline, obviously it just speeds up the process, but that's the general guidelines you want to stick to if you're using a setup like this. But that's all I really have to say about the tactics in gun. If you like this video, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next commentary. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.